Do you have a view on it at all?
No, you know what? It's something that has helped me incredibly in my life.
Yeah.
And I've been a Scientologist for over 30 years,
Yeah.
and it's something that, as you know, without it, I wouldn't be where I am.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a beautiful religion, and I'm very proud.
From growing up under the constant spotlight of Hollywood to distancing herself from the world her famous father built, Suri Cruise is finally revealing the truth behind the rumors.
Is Tom Cruise a true believer?
I feel that he is a true believer.
Dweller H.
And here's everything you need to know. When you're the daughter of one of Hollywood's biggest stars, your life is bound to be full of rumors and speculations. And for Suri Cruise, the past 17 years have been exactly that. But now, she's finally 18, and things are starting to change. Suri, the daughter of one of Hollywood's most mysterious figures, is finally breaking her silence about all the rumors that have surrounded her. What she's revealing will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about her life. But before we dive into what Suri has confirmed, let's take a look at her famous dad, Tom Cruise, and the unique family dynamics that have always kept the world curious.
You could be a Christian and be a Scientologist, okay? Scientology is something...
So it doesn't replace religion.
And it is a religion because it's dealing with the spirit, you know, you as a spiritual being. And it's something that there's tools that you have that you apply to your life.
The life of Tom Cruise, born Thomas Cruise Mapother. The 4th on July 3, 1962, Tom Cruise is a Hollywood icon. Over his legendary career, he's picked up plenty of awards, including an honorary Palme d'Or and 3 Golden Globes. He's also been nominated for an Oscar 4 times. His movies have earned over $5 billion in North America and more than $12 billion worldwide, making him one of the highest-grossing actors in history.
Filmmaker, the most important thing to me is you. And if I have entertained you at all, I thank you.
Between 2012 and 2018, Cruise held the Guinness World Record for starring in the most consecutive films that grossed over $100 million. Not only is he a box office hit, but he's also one of the highest-paid actors in the world. Tom Cruise's career really took off in the early 1980s with major roles in Risky Business and Top Gun. He kept impressing audiences and critics with movies like The Color of Money, Rain Man, and Born on the 4th of July, which earned him a Golden Globe and an Oscar nomination for Best Actor. By the 90s, Cruise was dominating Hollywood, starring in classics like A Few Good Men, The Firm, Interview with the Vampire, and Jerry Maguire. He won another Golden Globe for Jerry Maguire and got his 2nd Oscar nomination. Then, his performance in Magnolia earned him yet another Golden Globe and an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor. Known for his love of action-packed films and sci-fi blockbusters, Cruise is famous for doing his own stunts. He's been playing Ethan Hunt in the Mission Impossible series since 1996, and has starred in big films like Minority Report, The Last Samurai, Edge of Tomorrow, and the recent smash hit, Top Gun: Maverick. But beyond his career, people are just as interested in Tom Cruise's personal life. He's been married 3 times, first to Mimi Rogers, then to Nicole Kidman, and later to Katie Holmes. During his marriage to Kidman, they adopted 2 children, and with Holmes, he had a biological daughter, Suri. On top of that, Cruise is a passionate advocate for the Church of Scientology, which he credits for helping him overcome dyslexia. Katie Holmes, a star in her own right. Let's not forget Katie Holmes, Suri's mother. Born on December 18, 1978, Katie made a name for herself as Joey Potter on the hit TV show Dawson's Creek. She then starred in movies like Batman Begins, Phone Booth, First Daughter, and Thank You for Smoking. Katie also stepped into directing with her film All We Had in 2016 and Alone Together in 2022, where she made her debut as a screenwriter. But her life changed forever when she got involved with Tom Cruise. After Tom's high-profile divorce from Nicole Kidman and his breakup with Penelope Cruz, there were rumors that the Church of Scientology was helping him find a new wife.
They said, so, like, have you met an SP? And I looked at him, you know, And I thought, oh, what a beautiful thing, because maybe one day it'll be like that.
Apparently, they approached several big-name actresses, including Sofia Vergara and Scarlett Johansson, but nothing worked out. Then, things took an interesting turn. In 2004, Katie Holmes was engaged to actor Chris Klein. But in an interview with 17 magazine, she casually mentioned, "I used to think I was going to marry Tom Cruise." 6 months later, Katie and Chris ended their engagement, and in April 2005, Katie and Tom were spotted together for the first time in Rome. Just days after that, they made their public debut as a couple at the David Di Donatello Awards. Katie later said that when she met Tom, she was completely in love and had admired him growing up. But now that Suri is 18, what has she finally revealed? Stay tuned as we explore everything that Tom Cruise's daughter has just confirmed, and how it's reshaping what we thought we knew about her life. The intense media scrutiny surrounding Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes' relationship with the Church of Scientology played a significant role in shaping their eventual divorce. Tom Cruise's unwavering commitment to Scientology has long been a focal point of his personal and professional life. As one of the church's most high-profile members, his dedication was expected to extend to raising his daughter, Suri, under Scientology's teachings. However, this expectation clashed with Katie Holmes' Catholic upbringing, creating a deep rift between the couple. At the start of their marriage in 2006, Holmes seemed open to exploring Cruise's religion. But as Scientology's demands became more intense, the strain on their relationship grew. Reports suggested that disagreements over how to raise Suri, whether she should be immersed in Scientology or follow a more traditional upbringing, became a major point of contention.
There are rules within Scientology that if you are engaged with people very close to you that leave or refuse to engage in Scientology, you are supposed to distance yourself. I mean, it's very heartless.
Holmes's fears about Suri being subjected to Scientology's practices, including intense religious training that could potentially separate her from her mother, led her to take drastic action. On June 29, 2012, Holmes shocked the world by filing for divorce from Tom Cruise, ending their 5.5-year marriage. Holmes's decision was reportedly driven by concerns over Scientology's influence on her daughter's life. One particularly alarming rumor was that Suri might be sent on a Scientology-affiliated cruise ship for an extended immersion in the church's teachings. Holmes, fearful of losing control over her daughter's upbringing, took decisive legal action, including filing for sole custody of Suri. Her choice to file for divorce in New York, rather than California, was seen as a strategic move to distance herself and Suri from Scientology's control. Losing the battle over Suri Cruise, Holmes's actions in the days leading up to the divorce were described as carefully planned, resembling a covert operation. She relied on support from her inner circle to ensure her and Suri's safe exit from Cruise and the church's influence. Holmes's concerns about Scientology's control over her life and her daughter were heightened by reports of being surveilled by the church during this period, adding urgency to her efforts to break free.
Katie, I mean, it is an exuberant statement, but you have to keep in mind, Katie was unhappy in this marriage, and she's finally free. She wanted control of her career. She's doing that. She wanted to live in New York. She wanted to raise Suri. She got primary custody of Suri, and that was her goal. That was her main goal in this whole settlement, and that's what she got. So she's very happy right now.
The divorce settlement was finalized just 11 days after Holmes filed, an unusually fast resolution for such a high-profile case. Holmes was granted primary custody of Suri, while Cruise retained visitation rights. Importantly, the agreement reportedly included a stipulation that Suri would not be exposed to Scientology, marking a significant victory for Holmes in her quest to protect her daughter. Suri Cruise's relationship with her mother. Since the divorce, Katie Holmes has worked to create a stable, nurturing environment for Suri, away from the glare of media attention and the influence of Scientology. The two have built a close bond, with Holmes frequently expressing the deep connection she shares with her daughter. Raised in New York City, Suri has been encouraged to pursue her interests, particularly in the arts. Her love for Broadway, dance, and other creative outlets has flourished under her mother's guidance. Holmes has been open about the transformative impact motherhood has had on her life. In a 2014 People magazine cover story, she shared how becoming a mother changed her, stating, "Motherhood means everything to me." she emphasized the importance of raising Suri with kindness, integrity, and perseverance, values she aims to model in both their day-to-day lives and larger life decisions. Despite the constant public scrutiny, Holmes successfully balances giving Suri a normal childhood while allowing her to explore her passions. Their frequent outings around New York City, shared love of the arts, and close-knit relationships are regularly documented by the media.
Trying to communicate the spirit of giving at home. You have a daughter. How do you work it out in your household?
Well, my little one is very, very generous and very sensitive, and so she's always, Mom, let's give my old toys to people who need it. So we're always doing that.
You're fortunate that way.
Yeah.
But Holmes has taken care to protect her daughter's privacy and maintain a sense of normalcy in their lives. Suri Cruise's growing passions. Suri has grown into an independent and creative young woman, showing a deep interest in the arts, particularly Broadway and dance. Raised away from the intense public gaze that followed her early years, Suri's life reflects a strong sense of independence and authenticity. Holmes's dedication to providing her daughter with a well-rounded, grounded upbringing has allowed Suri to explore her passions without the pressures of fame overshadowing her childhood. In essence, Suri's upbringing represents a unique blend of normalcy and privilege, with Holmes working tirelessly to shield her daughter from the intense scrutiny that marked the early years of her life while encouraging her to live authentically. Suri's story is one of resilience, navigating the complex world of celebrity and her family's legacy on her own terms. Suri Cruise's prom night offered a rare and intimate glimpse into her life, largely away from the media spotlight. Held at the upscale Ascent Lounge in Midtown Manhattan, the event marked an important milestone in her high school journey. Suri attended the prom with Toby Cohen, a fellow senior with a passion for music, as shown through his performances on social media platforms like TikTok and YouTube. His talents were further highlighted during his high school recital, where he showcased his musical abilities by playing piano and singing. His acceptance to Berklee College of Music in Boston further underlined his dedication to pursuing a musical career. Suri's future also sparked public interest when a brief TikTok video surfaced showing her wearing a Carnegie Mellon University sweatshirt.
Suri is expected to attend Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. In a now-deleted TikTok post by one of her classmates, Suri proudly repped a sweatshirt from the university for her school's commitment.
Although the video was quickly removed, it fueled speculation that she may attend the prestigious university, particularly given Carnegie Mellon's renowned School of Drama and strong arts programs. This would align with Suri's background, growing up with artistic influences from her mother, Katie Holmes, and potentially reflecting her interest in pursuing a career related to the arts. Following prom, Suri and Toby were seen walking through Central Park, where their casual attire and affectionate interaction provided a relatable, down-to-earth contrast to Suri's high-profile upbringing. These glimpses into her life show her ability to balance public attention with a more grounded existence. As Suri has grown, she has become increasingly independent and separated from her childhood under the spotlight. She has pursued interests behind the scenes, contributing musically to her mother's film projects, including Alone Together and Rare Objects. Despite being linked to these projects, Suri has not sought to establish a public career in acting, focusing more on music and remaining out of the media's reach. High school life. One of the most significant developments in her life occurred during her high school graduation in June 2024, where she adopted the name Suri Noel rather than Suri Cruise. This decision marked a symbolic shift, signaling her desire to align more closely with her mother, Katie Holmes, while distancing herself from her father, Tom Cruise. The name change reflects the complexity of her relationship with her father. But this isn't the only instance where she used that name. Starting with her high school play The Addams Family, listed as Morticia Addams under her new name, Suri reaffirmed this choice in another school production, Head Over Heels, signaling a clear effort to distance herself from her famous last name, Cruise. These choices reflect her desire to forge an identity that is less connected to her father's celebrity and more aligned with her personal journey, which has been full of rumors of estrangement due to his involvement with Scientology.
Suri looks so much like him. I just remember her growing up, the most beautiful child, and not to have any contact with her for 7 years. Astonishing. Choosing Scientology over his own daughter, it seems.
Tom Cruise's absence from Suri's graduation, following a pattern of missing significant moments in her life, further highlights the strained relationship between father and daughter. Suri's decision to adopt the name Noel may also suggest a desire to forge a more personal, independent identity as she transitions into adulthood, signaling her desire to step out of her father's shadow and focus on her own path, redefining her identity in the public eye. Suri's decision to adopt Noel as her last name represents a deliberate step toward personal independence. This move parallels the actions of other celebrity children like Zahara and Vivian Jolie, who have opted to use their mother Angelina Jolie's surname, and Shiloh Jolie Pitt, who legally changed her name to Shiloh Noel Jolie. For Suri, using Suri Noel in public and semi-public settings, such as school plays, highlights her desire to step out of the public scrutiny tied to her father's fame and redefine her identity on her terms. Suri's choice to embrace her new name during crucial moments in her school life is not just a symbolic gesture, but a reflection of her broader journey toward self-discovery. As she enters adulthood, her consistent use of Suri Noel marks her determination to assert her individuality and distance herself from the legacy of her parents' fame. This decision suggests that she is actively shaping her own path, one that is focused on personal growth and a desire for a life away from the spotlight that has followed her since birth. Tom Cruise's absence and Suri's name change. Tom Cruise's decision to attend a Taylor Swift concert at Wembley Stadium with NFL star Travis Kelce. Instead of his daughter, Suri's high school graduation has fueled public curiosity about the true nature of his relationship with her.
But apparently he hasn't seen her for some 7 years.
You know, I honestly wonder if this is a part of the divorce agreement when Katie Holmes left him, because he really has had nothing to do with Suri since Katie moved on and really escaped Scientology.
Cruise has long denied claims of estrangement, particularly in a 2013 defamation lawsuit where he refuted accusations of abandoning Suri, asserting that he remains emotionally and financially involved in her life. Despite these claims, the public continues to question the depth of their connection, especially as Suri makes bold moves to redefine her identity. While that's pretty concerning, let's dive into Cruise's relationship with the rest of his children. The adoption of Connor and Isabella. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman married in 1990 and adopted 2 children during their marriage: Isabella Jane Cruise, born in 1992, and Connor Anthony Cruise, born in 1995. The couple was one of Hollywood's power couples during the 1990s, and their decision to adopt was widely praised in the media. Although their family seemed picture-perfect on the surface, things began to unravel by the time Connor and Isabella were approaching their teenage years. Tom and Nicole divorced in 2001 after a decade of marriage, reportedly due in part to disagreements over their involvement in Scientology.
Position where if I start to answer any of the stuff, then we have 2 children who are 8 and 6, who are the most important things to us. As a mother, my job now is to protect them from anything or any scrutiny that they're going to get.
Nicole, who was raised Catholic, eventually distanced herself from Scientology after the split, which had long-term ramifications for her relationship with her children. Tom's relationship with Connor and Isabella. After the divorce. After the divorce, Connor and Isabella chose to live with their father and were brought up within the Scientology community, a religion that Tom has been deeply committed to for much of his life. Unlike Suri, who was primarily raised by Katie Holmes and removed from the influence of Scientology after her parents' divorce, Connor and Isabella remained loyal to both their father and the church. Connor Cruise. Connor Cruise, born on January 17, 1995, pursued an unconventional career path in the entertainment industry, initially as a DJ and later as a deep-sea fishing enthusiast. He has largely remained out of the limelight compared to Suri, but has maintained a close bond with his father, largely due to their shared connection through Scientology. Reports indicate that Connor, now living in Clearwater, Florida, near the headquarters of the Church of Scientology, is deeply embedded in the church's lifestyle. His relationship with Tom Cruise has always been portrayed as stable and supportive. Connor frequently attends Scientology events and is often seen with his father in public, further indicating their strong bond. The influence of Scientology is key in this relationship. According to some reports, the religion's practices encourage loyalty to the church, and those within it often maintain stronger connections to fellow Scientologists than to family members who are not involved with the church. This could help explain why Connor has remained close to Tom, but not to his mother, Nicole Kidman. Some sources suggest that Connor's dedication to Scientology may have created a rift between him and his mother, as she has openly distanced herself from the religion after her divorce from Tom Cruise.
Was Nicole the love of your life?
What do you mean, Peter?
You were married for 10 years.
Listen, we raised children. How do you answer that? How do you answer that question?
Isabella Cruise, Isabella Bella Cruise, born on December 22, 1992, has also kept a relatively low profile over the years. Like her brother Connor, Bella is an active member of the Church of Scientology and shares a close relationship with her father. After the divorce between Tom and Nicole, Bella, like her brother, chose to live with Tom and reportedly had limited contact with Nicole for many years, leading to speculation that Scientology played a role in the estrangement between mother and daughter. In 2015, Bella married Max Parker in a low-key ceremony in London, which was attended by neither Tom nor Nicole, although it was reported that Tom financed the wedding. Bella has since pursued a career as an artist and prefers a life away from the Hollywood spotlight, even though she grew up in one of the most famous families in the world. Her decision to remain involved with Scientology also reflects the significant role the religion plays in her family dynamics. Scientology is known to encourage its members to disconnect from those who are deemed suppressive persons, SPs, individuals who leave the church or criticize it. While Nicole Kidman has not been publicly labeled an SP, the religious divide between Nicole and her children may contribute to their distant relationship. Bella, however, has always maintained that she and her mother are on good terms, even though they are rarely seen together in public. The influence of Scientology on Tom's relationship with his children. The Church of Scientology is undeniably central to Tom Cruise's life and has had a significant influence on his relationships with all three of his children.
Tom Cruise, the poster boy for Scientology.
I think it's a privilege to call yourself a Scientologist, and it's something that you have to earn, because a Scientologist has the ability to create new and better reality.
Tom is one of the most prominent members of the church, and his deep commitment to its teachings has been well documented. Both Connor and Isabella are active members of Scientology, which has helped maintain their close relationship with their father. However, this same involvement in Scientology appears to have played a role in Tom's estrangement from Suri. Connor and Isabella's loyalty to Scientology may have strengthened their bond with Tom, especially since the church encourages strong ties between members and promotes the idea of disconnection from those who oppose Scientology. This principle of disconnection may help explain why both children reportedly became estranged from their mother, Nicole Kidman, after her split from Tom and her decision to distance herself from the church. In contrast, Suri Cruise, who was born into Tom's third marriage to Katie Holmes, was raised away from Scientology after Katie filed for divorce in 2012. Katie reportedly wanted to protect Suri from the church's influence, which was a key factor in her decision to seek sole custody. Since then, Suri has lived with Katie and has had limited contact with Tom, further deepening the divide between father and daughter. Suri's absence and Tom's relationship with his older children. The contrast between Tom's relationships with Connor and Isabella versus Suri is striking. While Tom remains closely connected to Connor and Isabella due to their shared beliefs in Scientology, he appears to be largely absent from Suri's life. Reports indicate that Tom has not been seen publicly with Suri since 2012. This estrangement from Suri has fueled speculation that Scientology played a significant role in Tom's absence. Katie Holmes' desire to raise Suri outside the church's influence could have created an unbridgeable gap between Tom and his youngest daughter. Some reports suggest that Tom may not be involved in Suri's life due to the church's policy of disconnection from those who leave or criticize Scientology, a fate that befell Katie Holmes after her divorce from Tom.